As a young teacher, I came onto this faculty, I came onto this campus, and it was just a small school, about 700 students. And when I joined the faculty many years ago, it was a matter that we had about 700 students here. We knew the names of everybody, where they were from. It was a very friendly type of situation. Immediately, I found that I had a sense of place. I found that I had a home, and it was very comfortable. But it was more than that, it was challenging. We taught students, and students responded. They responded to the joy of learning. They responded to the joy of being a part of a group. They responded to being at ABAC because ABAC was such a good place to be. They loved it here. And as a result, I, along with other faculty members, just stayed on. And it was not that we were just comfortable here, but it was because we were challenged. We enjoyed this experience of teaching here. We had good students. We had average students. We had some who really never made it, but they came here and they were a part of the ABAC picture, a part of the ABAC home. And for many of them, whether they stayed a quarter, which we wanted to call quarter system then, or if they stayed a full year or 2 years, they profited from being here because we had something to offer them. And we had so many experiences here that were fun for all of us. For example, we all went to the basketball games that we had then, and we would cheer our team on to victory. We went to the tennis matches. We went to whatever the school was supporting at the moment. The plays, for example, would be very well attended in what was Howard Auditorium. We would be there because it was a situation that we loved ABAC. We were a part of it, and we were excited to whatever we saw our students doing. We wanted to be a part of it. Therefore, it was a matter of the calendar of our own, the calendar of the school. It was important to all of us. For example, at Christmas, Dr. Ernest Edwards, who was then the director of the Glee Club, would have the opening ceremony for Christmas on the Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, Howard Auditorium, where the Glee Club would perform, and we would be ushered into the Christmas season. We would have the hanging of the green, and oftentimes we even had Santa Claus to come, and those 18 and 19-year-old students would be just as excited as 6-year-olds. The faculty would too. No matter if Santa Claus, who arrived one time as he propelled himself in from a ladder, or another time whenever he walked in, it was so exciting because we were all in it together. And ABAC was important to us. But more than anything else, it was a successful institution, a successful college. I had been reared in South Georgia and had heard of ABAC all of my life, and I knew that if a student could get to ABAC, in all probability that student would be able to stay regardless of the financial situation. There would be help that would be provided. And the student oftentimes would leave here with an entirely new approach to life. The horizon had been broadened, and the individual was now a person who was ready to face the world, in contrast to what he or she was when they entered our school. We turned out good students. We turned out students who went on to colleges and universities and were successful. We turned out many students who would go simply into the job market, and they would be successful there. But our goal was to help them to become good citizens, individuals who could contribute to their world and to their society, and that's what we wanted, and that's what we tried to achieve. But I think one of the most important events that I enjoyed as much as anything was Honors Day. I would sit there and I would see those students as they would file by, and they would receive the honors that they had earned. And so oftentimes their parents could not come. And I wanted to be there for those students who didn't have the parent there. I wanted to be there to support the student and let that person know you're important. And not only did I have that attitude, but other teachers did too. Our office doors were open. We were encouraged always to bring students in for whatever conversation they wanted, whatever advisement they wanted. I think several times I had students to ask me when they first arrived, how do I wash clothes? And it was always a delight to tell them exactly what to do. But this was a place where students felt comfortable. It was a place where they felt they belonged. And so oftentimes they would leave here and they would come back and be driving along I-75. They would pull off just to see their campus. And I would hear the questions, what has happened to my school? Where is my campus? Because after they left, we would find more buildings being built. We would find teachers who were leaving. We would find the landscape changing. But all in all, the basic ABAC spirit was the same. It is the same today as it was when I came here in 1965. We are a family, and it is a place that we want to contain. We want to maintain it. And it is for that reason that over the years, it has been my privilege and my joy to be a minor part of supporting ABAC with my contribution. It has been a joy because after I'm long gone, those small contributions are going to continue to help that young person make a place and find here the love that only can be imbued from being at ABAC. I love this place.